Ooh, we're live.
My name's not there.
I didn't know you were coming until like 10 minutes ago.
Well, I'm here.
It's red and invisible ink.
Yes.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back, my lovelies. We are having another episode of Corpse Garden Chronicles. My brain stuck on McGonagall, okay? Corpse Garden Chronicles.
We're celebrating my death.
We are having our second annual Raztopia special earlier this year because we want to give Raz a pickup and give him all the love. So with me today, of course, we have Raz T Slasher. Thanks for being here, Doctor.
No problem. It'd be weird if I wasn't.
We have Jodi May.
Hello.
I've been blessed to have her as a sister for years now. And we have Pile Hazard, who always makes things more fun. You're not here?
No.
Are you hiding behind the Reaper?
Maybe. Apparently Raz ain't here either.
He's disappeared.
We're both figments of your imagination.
That's nice.
Whoever. I gotta get the hang of this phone camera, man. It's like this phone camera is so weird. I'm used to like normal cameras and shit, but if I move my arm, it doesn't help any. So then I have to do this again, and it's weird.
It looked like you did a full flip.
It felt like it.
Good luck.
Our internet's down right now, so I'm here by phone for a little while.
Okay.
I feel like I need to hijack you, bring you up here, slam you in the wonderful seat right beside me, and we can do it together.
There you go. Hell, you can come here and do it too when we have internet.
That's what I'm saying. Your option's not such a great one right now.
Yeah.
So, yes. First off, we're going to say please buy everything by Raz T Slasher. Here with me today, I have my Riverside Chronicles because my copy of The Silence is Crimson is being held hostage by my mother-in-law until my amazing friend Raz can mail hers.
Yes.
But she can't have this.
Well, you're also getting Campfire Tales, a very rare non-printed book, so
I look forward to that too. But either way,
You have to share, Jenny.
I think
You have to
there's
promote
only, as far as I know, there's only about 3 copies in physical existence of that book.
Oh wow. Very
And
limited.
the copy that Jenny is getting actually was my grandmother's copy, my granny's copy,
Aw.
because that's the only one I have.
She'll share it with me though.
Yeah, it'll be passed down through generations. But either way, welcome to the episode, guys. We are going to tell tales of things that happened. We are going to tell tales that he has written. And we are just going to have fun. So, yes. Let's start with Pyle. What is your favorite thing about your friendship with Raz?
Oh my god, this is getting weird. I'm just joking.
It's always weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Remember, this is my funeral. Say nice things.
Oh, wow.
No, they
Are
need to be
we-
lying.
Are we treating it like your funeral here?
It feels like it, Lily. It does feel
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
I'll lay down in a coffin in a minute.
So I just want to say I remember the first time meeting this wonderful gentleman and how I said I need to spend more quality time with him. So I set out to spend time with him in Pyle and Raz Adventures as we bought tickets to go watch a frog movie
Yes,
That
we watched that frog movie.
that a terrible doll movie could have outdone.
And we found out that there was a little frog in all of us that day.
Oh, only if the one's around.
Yep.
Can we watch that movie for Tomb of the Terrible?
We should actually. It's out. Ron's seen it.
Oh.
Ron watched it.
Oh, we can watch it now?
Yeah, it's been out for a while. A couple months.
We need
Okay.
We need
It's
to
called
put that
Legend of
on
the Frog Man.
We need to put that on the wheel of the Tomb of the Terrible there.
Yeah, we're
But-
finishing up the wheel with for the rest of the season, so we've only got 2 movies left to
I
watch
know.
for this season.
Yeah, and then as soon as we get done watching those, we're going to go into everything Annabelle, aren't we?
Yep, the Amityville movies. Well, as many of them as we can in a short amount of time. And I know we're not going to get through them all. There's too many.
But back to stories about Raz, because we're squirreling off and we don't have a drunken squirrel to tell us that we're doing things wrong.
Nope.
We have a Cthulhu.
We do have a Cthulhu.
I'm not Cthulhu Patagan.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, we also have a Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a
But
pervert.
he's full of mischief. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Anyway.
The subject is Raz, so therefore swirling off and swirling on are so on par.
It's kind of my whole life.
I was gonna say it's
So-
quite relevant.
So, as we're talking about Raz, I just want to say how wonderful person he is.
Oh,
And
shit.
we decided,
Sorry, I had a cough.
and me and him decided to go to Frogman Festival. We might be going this year. I don't know. It's a 2-day event this year or next
They're
year.
getting crazy.
And yeah, they are. They're getting
We should get a booth.
They're kind of getting a little froggy, don't you think?
They are getting a little froggy,
Anyway.
man.
I got a frogman in my throat. Anyway. So here we are at this festival, and we went through a castle totally backwards because
Yeah.
the rule of thumb is if the door is closed, don't go through the door. You just go through everything else. And we went through everything else, coming to realize you should have went through the door because we went through the castle backwards. And
It was
telling people, we're sorry, we don't know how to read the arrows.
Well, for a while we didn't realize there were arrows, and then
Yeah.
I was like, "Holy shit! There's arrows on the floor." There's a video of this journey on YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh.
there is. There is. Then after that, we went back to the before we went back to the Frogman Festival, we met a mystical beast, almost a fairy-like. And
Yeah.
this mystical beast is known as the Pizza Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
And this has got to be the proudest moment I have with Raz. Just absolutely going there, having a great time. We're eating pizza. We're eating wings. He's telling me, man, I don't eat this much. And trust me, I think I'm done. I said, no, you're not. Here, have another slice.
Oh my God. I didn't move for a week.
His drink magically disappeared from one side and it reappeared the other side.
Like in a snap of the fingers, like that quick, before I even understood what was happening.
And in fact, I gave this place a 5-star review as we were sitting there. And we've talked about this Pizza Ninja in the past on the network.
Oh, yeah.
But this Pizza Ninja absolutely did a heck of a job. Then we went back to Frogman Festival, watched a horrible, terrible movie that Raz looked at me and said, hey, we should make a movie because our movie would be at least 2 times better than this. After that, we decided that we were going to go to this wonderful, magical land full of gas pumps and grocery stores and ice cream. It's called United Dairy Farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's when his milkshake brought me to the yard.
As we were sitting there, and we're waiting for our milkshakes to get done, I kept on going, my milkshake brings all the boys to the door, and it's like, it's better than yours. Damn right. It's better than yours.
You know, he was like right in the middle of UDF singing this repeatedly over while they were making. I think they were getting like, they were like looking at him like oddly, and so it was hilarious. I was laughing so fucking hard, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
You also forgot we discovered that you don't know what turn right means. Hey,
No,
turn
we
right.
found-
Okay. Fuck, I was supposed to turn right there. Fuck, I was supposed to turn right there. Fuck, I was supposed to turn right there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
We also figured out on our wonderful adventure, and I need to point this one out. Ohio has tornadoes because of all the roundabouts. And I mean, instead of putting a 4-way stop, we decided that we were going to put a roundabout and then a roundabout, then a roundabout, then a roundabout. And the question made us wonder, how many times can you go around a roundabout before the authorities come and tell you got to take a right because you can't continue left?
Yeah.
So all
And, like,
this was a one.
If you walk around in a circle, like a bunch of people in like a pool, like you get a whirlpool effect. So why not big vehicles and roundabouts? Like I feel like, you know, at least something can happen.
Yeah, I mean, if deer go across the road because someone puts deer crossings up, I feel that going on a roundabout makes tornadoes happen.
It does. It's true.
Yeah,
Look,
right.
it's Big Ben. Yep, I did that day.
So
Sean Crystal Cobble asked if aren't you a professional driver?
I am a professional. Well, I haven't been so much because we ran out of grain. And you know, at one point, maybe we should have a network show all about my actual job. But that is not today. And I could go around a circle multiple times, and we decided that at that point, me and Raz need to make a movie, and we need to sit down. We need to come up with the script. I'm pretty sure I have a whole thought process on this.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we need to come down. We need to talk about it because it needs to happen.
Yeah,
And
I'm writing 2 scripts right now.
I'm telling
We're
you,
doing
man.
this one with you, and I'm working on another one that no one knows about yet. It's
The
secret.
Is it the secret of the elf?
No.
Oh,
It's the secret of asphyxiation, Ashley.
Ooh.
Yeah, I built that prop today myself. I'm proud of that prop.
It's got to be better than a monkey in a cage and someone humping it.
I mean, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you think we're joking here, Jodi? No.
No, I don't think you're joking. I'm just finding it quite hysterical.
Fucking Dr. Ape and
I
Humper.
know it's not a joke. I know you too. So, but I'm getting
I told this story
visuals and
I told this story a couple times on past shows. It's something that happened at the
Yeah.
hunt. Yeah, it was let's just say the monkey animatronic that Sean, that's Sean's baby. He created that. He built it the way it is currently, and that poor animatronic had to fill out a sexual harassment form for HR.
Mm.
And I felt really bad for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, it wasn't me.
Sparky, man.
I know you're thinking about it, but it wasn't me.
Sparky became Spanky that day.
But no, it's always a great time hanging with Raz. We went to Carnage, had a great time. Everybody always laughs about when I go driving. And you know what? Even Michelle was laughing about my my crazy comments as I drove, as we were yelling "F you" at this person that cut us off.
Yeah, that's because you were riding with someone that has a lot of road rage, dude. She's like that. She will scream. Like, car could be a mile away, and she's shrieking. All the windows are up. I'm looking at her like, they cannot hear you. They are not telepathic either, but I am right next to you, and that shit's loud.
But yeah, Raz was one of the first people to actually take an adventure in the creeper van, and I'm very happy to be such a great friend with him. And I thought it was crazy when he's like, "Hey, I'm part of this podcast. I'd like to have you on the show." And then he said, "You know what? You did really good. You want to come back?" And I was like, "Well, sure, if you think you want me." And next thing you know, here I am. Been extremely busy. Been working on this and that. Went to a music festival. And one way or another, I don't care if I got to hijack you. You need to go to that music festival.
It's been a bit since I've been to a festival of any kind.
Oh, trust me.
I keep waking up old, It's a problem.
It's a good festival when you go and take a video, and next thing you know, you have a bottle of Faygo that smacked you straight in the head.
Dude, I'm just going to be the guy that sits by the fire and tends the fire all day, all night, and just tells people random fucking stories and is just high as hell. That's my whole job. That's my festival job. That's Festival Raz.
Well, Festival Raz is going to have to tell it over a cooking pot thing, because you can't have ground fires. But it's okay because
those sons of bitches.
Because we'll do kumbaya over the burner.
I am now 50% less interested. That hurts my heart that you can't have a campfire at a camp. It's sad.
Oh, no. You can't have a campfire in a festival that has a whole bunch of tents and a whole bunch of questionable substances being consumed.
See, we used to do that at a lot of these, like Woodchuck, when we used to do Woodchuck a lot with the band. Some of the other private areas that you can rent were actually private because it was on a reservation campground. So you could get actual like private camping sites that actually had like fire rings and shit. It was fucking amazing.
Are you wanting to show your Cthulhu off?
Cthulhu and me.
No, he's just watching.
He's saying that.
It's Cthulhu.
So, yeah, that's pretty much a good chunk of the wonderful stories that me and Raz have together. I know that me and him's done so many wonderful things together, and it's fun because we even went to both, because I wasn't happy enough to go to one. No, we had to go to both of the jungle gyms, and we had to compare them. And then we
they're nothing alike.
And then we had to go and say, okay, well, if this is Jungle Gym approved sauces, but yeah, I mean, it was a great time. It's always a great time with Raz, and I want him at some point to go and experience the people coming up to you and looking at you with very questionable faces and saying, "I swear I've seen you before." And then in about 15 minutes, "I think I stumbled upon you on the internet." And you just look at him and say, "I hope it was a Pornhub. I thought I took that down." Hey, you know what? My toesies make me money. That's why I was switched.
Yeah, man. It's the foot pics and all the that used underwear you sold to that vending machine in Korea.
I think I was engaged to a vending machine in Korea.
I'm pretty sure you were.
Hey, if it's going to keep on vending me jerky, I'm sold. Not hard to get along with. So anybody else want to tell a story? Because I could go on with random Raz things. Because
I met Raz. Actually, I met you at the same time.
You met me at the same time
as we did the cryptids.
Yeah, Legends by Night.
That was my big introduction. I had beforehand, a couple days beforehand, Jenny had introduced me and did a little conversating with Raz, and then she's like, "Hey, you've got some great stories. I need you on." And I'm like, "Okay." And it was a great night. And then a few days later, I got to do another, I forget what that one was, but I got to do a different podcast with y'all.
Yep.
And had a great time. And
the pad itself.
Privately, Raz and I got to talking about things we kind of similarly shared, and it branched into deeper conversation. And me addressing a few things that were going on, because Raz is that person you just feel you can open up to.
We had a really good conversation, like a really good in-depth one about like mental health and like mental health awareness, and like I remember that, man. That was an awesome conversation.
And that's when you told me, no fear your family.
Yep.
And literally after that conversation, Raz was my brother. Nobody will tell me any different. You know, blood don't make you family, you choose your family. And Elliot's my family.
Oh,
and
you're so.
I found
so
my
nice.
home. And I
got my owls and my rejects, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely a reject, but I wear it proud.
You're also a chainer, my dear friend.
Well, yes.
That's true.
But it was, you know, I hadn't, I guess I could say, not to get too deep, felt I belonged for quite a while anywhere. And Raz helped me understand you're not going anywhere. You belong.
Yep.
And I fully felt accepted, and it was a beautiful gift that Raz gave me. So I really wanted to share that, and thank you again, brother.
I love you too, man. Like big time. Like we're all family, you know. It's easy to forget, like when we're all going through our struggles together, that there's other people there. And you guys know I'm guilty of that. I've been doing that a lot lately, actually. But at the end of the day, it's we can come to each other. We can all come together. We can work through shit as a team, and I love that, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful gift.
Sometimes it's very hard to get you to come out and say, "Hey, let's just talk." So yeah.
My mommy told me I was a special gift. I don't know what you made about it, but I know I'm very, very special.
You're a special kind of special, pal.
The short bus windows taste like snozberries.
Come on and scoop me up. Scoop me up.
A fun fact, did you know a snozberry is another word for a dick?
Yes.
And the entire time we've enjoyed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they were licking dicks on a wall without knowing it.
Snozberry. Snozberry. Well, it's a dick.
Yep, and I just learned this recently. I was just a month ago years old when I discovered what a snozberry actually was.
Okay, let me.
I just watched that 2 days ago, by the way, again.
You know what the
I like the new
thing
one, the prequel they did. That was the musical. I really liked that one, by the way.
Yes,
it was really good.
Wonka with what's it? Timothy Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Or Chalamet.
Yeah. Timothy Chalamet. Yeah. He was really good in that, man. That movie was awesome.
So, I do want to say, Raz, you're a wonderful person. And if you do go to this music festival with me in the future, you need to do me a favor. And you need to confirm that I am a dick. Because I tell everybody I am a dick. And I am a ass and this and that. And no one believes me.
Dude, I will make up so many different stories and have everyone there believe me. I promise you, it's easy.
Well,
But
I
you
will
haven't
buy
been
you
one
a
to me.
dick hat, and then you can be a dick head.
Boop.
That was odd.
Yeah.
But
That
anyway,
was odd. I thought it was just me.
Nope.
You zeroed out and popped right.
We've been using the word dick too much, apparently, and Facebook was like, meh. Or StreamYard, I guess.
How rude.
It was rude.
that's okay. Facebook is still arguing with me about that. Yes, I agree, Tom Dog, he is.
Raz.
Facebook is still
Number
arguing
one.
with me about
Number
that
one.
episode where they thought that Ron's head was somebody's breast.
Yeah, because he leaned over like this, and and they thought it was a boob, I guess. No, here's the killer. So you guys might have not seen me posting a lot with Dungeon Darts. Someone reported Dungeon Darts for selling guns when they are clearly Nerf and Jelly Blaster guns. I mean, clearly you cannot mistake what they are in the photos for the ads. So even my personal account is still under restriction for another couple weeks because I submitted a complaint about it, to get them to reverse the decision. That was 3 weeks ago, just about, and they still haven't even looked at the complaint yet.
Wow.
And I've never gotten a ban for even a single hour or day or anything for anything ever. And they hit me with a 30-day for selling guns. I'm like, dude, these are toys. I promise. I'm not trying to peddle guns. You can't even remove them from the building. You have to use them here.
Oh no, I put no boo trick or treat, and somebody said I was trying to sell alcohol to children.
Razor blade candy, maybe, but not
Yeah,
alcohol. We have limits.
Yeah, put in gel over Pikachu.
No, apples,
So
Raz.
Facebook
Apples.
has
The 80s.
no idea.
Razor blade apples.
Isn't apples what you put the cyanide in?
Yeah, but
No,
in the 80s, it was razor blade apples.
Yeah, razor blade apple.
I thought razor blade was in candy. Cyanide was in apples. And
No, you can use the seeds of apples and a lot of other things to make a homemade version of cyanide.
oh.
I won't tell you the other ingredients because this is the internet. Just go find the Anarchist Cookbook. That's how we all learned it in the 90s.
The internet is really, really great.
Yeah. But yeah, the first evidence was originally candy, and it happened in one small town, and then it was a nationwide thing, and it's considered one of the most known urban legends of all time. And then it happened with an apple a decade after that, and the scare happened all over again. But every 10 years, there's another big scare because someone claims they found one, yet there's no reports of anything.
I was gonna say,
but so far yeah, it's crazy. But every year, it's always check your candy. There's razor blades in it. There's this in it. And I'm like, motherfucker.
He almost ended up in Facebook jail of a random woman eating pizza.
Was she naked? I mean,
Maybe pineapple does belong on pizza.
Right.
Hello, baby. How you doing? You want to come in my place? I got pineapple on the pizza. What's the secret word? Pineapple. Oh, yeah.
I had originally...
And then she's laughing.
Well, he started talking again. So, yeah, I had originally met Raz whenever I started about 2021, whenever I had decided to start doing more things with fake horror. And then I just you know what? I'm going to message him and see what happens. And it turned out to be one of the best things I ever did.
I agree.
Going to an anime convention in 2018 and then doing more with fake horror and just randomly messaging Raz. Then I became his PA. Then I became part of the Owl Light Network. And
PA, then sister, and then Owl Light Network. You missed a step.
PA, sister, then Owl Light Network. Okay.
Honestly, you messaging me that day was also one of the best things that I've ever done.
Yes,
no,
talking
seriously.
to a random fan just because.
No, and when she said she was more like she totally fangirled over you. Thank you. She blew my phone up. No, you've got to read his shit. I'm like, okay, I will. Like and then you did the Betelgeuse photo up and reading for Sophia. And then she sent that to me and I'm like, all right, you need to introduce me, damn it. You got me. Because also being a part of fake horror myself is I was taking my time getting to know people current situation at time. I was very selective on who I got.
That's understandable though. You have to be sometimes.
Yeah, and then I don't know, a whole world opens up, and every time I say Beetlejuice, Sophia's like, I know him. It's beautiful.
I've been getting the voice ready this year. I've already been practicing.
Nice.
Getting the movements ready. Waiting to see that new movie when it comes in. So I had some new lines and some new movements in.
I'm going for my birthday.
By the way, Raz, I would like to take you to Huber Heights and go see that movie if you don't already have plans.
I don't have official plans because everyone wants to get together and go see it. And everybody keeps trying to steal me to go see it. I'm like, you know what? We should all just go to the fucking drive-in and get our cars together and then go watch it there outside. Because I guarantee it's going to be the Dayton Drive-In, the Dixie. Yeah.
Pizza Ninja after.
Pizza Ninja is very, very far away from there.
We can possibly just get a pizza from the Pizza Ninja, and most drive-thrus, they don't care if you bring in food.
No, Dixie's really cool about it. We usually get a bunch of like Little Caesars or whatever random pizzas nearby. Actually, the Little Caesars over there closed. They got a lot of other shit too. They really don't care. Some places will have you buy like a food pass, and that's just they charge you $10 to come in if you're going to bring a bunch of your own food, and then they'll still give you a discount at the concession stand because that's what they make their money on. Really, is concession. So like, I don't mind at all paying a little bit extra to bring my own shit that I know I like in, but they don't really care unless it's like a lot of food.
So what you're saying is I need to go over to the the Little Caesars and decide that I'm just going to get one of each kind of pizza.
No, I'm gonna introduce you to the wonderful world of Joe's Pizza, because Joe's Pizza is actually one of the best actual pizza, not the best trash pizza like I think Little Caesars is, but like one of the best pizzas you'll ever eat in your life, and it's local in Dayton.
Really?
Okay.
It's really close to Ron, actually.
No, we do not. We don't defile corpses. We celebrate corpses. Thank you, Stefan. Oh, by
it's
the
the
way,
same thing.
Speaking of Stefan, we have a More Lore for the Mythos Kickstarter. Okay, tonight and tomorrow are the last days. You will get there's this beautiful book here that you can get. Definitely. I have the link everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Substacks. I have a image not linked to any store or anything on TikTok. Just go find the page. Go join the Kickstarter. Get the pretty book. My mother-in-law and I both agree you should.
And I've reshared it everywhere.
And also, I made it into a temporary tattoo and put it on my ass, so now everyone on the highway sees it every day.
Yes, we need little pieces, Stefan.
That does sound like something to do, though. Speaking of weird things I'll do for books, so I really didn't think this would happen, but when we were talking more lore on Sunday, I happened to mention, because I was high as shit, that if we hit 4,000 contributed to the campaign, that I was going to put tutus on in some kind of bikini and do an interpretive dance number at some point during Padded Cell this coming Sunday. And guess what? We hit over 4,000, so I have to do that. So I got another challenge this time. If we hit 45 by the time it ends, the campaign ends, while I'm doing my intruder dance, I will sing the fun song in SpongeBob's voice while doing my dance in the costumes. So like 4,500 is what we got hit. And we're almost at 42. So I believe in you guys. Make it happen. And then, clip it on the internet or whatever you do, because I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
Epic.
My thing is, like, I'm surrounded by, like, some of the most amazing writers ever in that. And, like, the imposter syndrome is really real because I'm like the littlest fish in that, I feel like. So it's up to me then to take multiple for the team by just doing silly, stupid shit to get people to buy the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my job now. Every time we do a campaign, I have to do weird shit. But if we get 40,000, I was supposed to dress up as a My Little Pony of some kind, I think.
My Little Pony, My Little Pony. What would be your My Little Pony name?
Oh, damn. We broke 42 and I didn't even know it. Shit, guys. You're only 290 away from me singing SpongeBob shit. And I got a good SpongeBob boy.
Let's go.
And when's this end?
30-something hours. 30-something, 31 hours, 32 hours.
Okay. So not Friday.
Ends as of, yeah.
Oh, that's so not fair. My paycheck goes in on Friday. I'd kick it over.
I know you would.
So, yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me rally the troops. Let's figure out. I got enough friends. Maybe they will do $5 a piece. Maybe we can kick this over. 31
I think the cheapest
hours.
one. I think the cheapest thing is like $7 or $8 or something like that for the ebook.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Stefan would know exactly.
And you know what? My Little Pony name.
And where? Oh, there it is. There it is.
$9 for an ebook.
Yeah, I know. Here we go.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to ask the kid who would know. Be right back.
I like turtles. Just throwing that out there.
Turtles are awesome.
I said that so much last season that one of the actresses here, one of the young ones, she actually brought me a little glass turtle, which I still have to this day. I was like, I'm just doing the whole meme thing because it's like my favorite fucking thing. And she's like, yeah, I know, but like it was a turtle, man.
Right. I've been into turtle costume.
Hell yeah.
What's your
I feel
favorite
like I'm a Splinter now in my old age.
Donatello.
On the wall.
I went from Michelangelo to Splinter. My cane.
When I was little, I would ask my grandpa who his favorite turtle was, and he goes, soup.
Oh, damn.
I still want to try turtle soup. I've never had turtle soup, but it's on my list of things I want to try someday. I've had shark steak, and that was interesting.
Turtle soup.
Didn't love it.
Amazing when done.
I've heard it's great. That's what I've heard, yeah.
Awesome. I'm from Florida, so let me tell you, that was a big...
I've had gator down in Florida. I just haven't had the turtle. Hey!
Hi, babe.
Hi. What is Mommy's My Little Pony name? You get to make it up for me.
You're on the clock.
My Little Pony aficionado.
10 seconds.
I don't know.
What do you think it should be?
Oh,
say DoorDash.
Right at the books.
No. Tell her pony name is DoorDash.
Not after dashing for death. No.
Cassie, listen to Aunt Jodi. Her name is Amazon.
Okay.
Your name is what?
Her name is Amazon.
Amazon.
That's My Little Pony name. Oh, Sparkle's My Little Pony. Oh.
Twilight Sparkles?
Okay.
Okay.
How about Twilight Sprinkles?
Twilight
Sprinkles.
That could work.
Well, I can't be grilled cheese. That was taken. So I'll be ham sandwich.
By Weird Al. Yes, Weird Al played grilled cheese.
Don't forget.
What?
Say, okay, you can go if you say, I love you, bye.
I love you. Bye.
Don't forget the boops.
I love you too.
Alright, love you.
Bye.
Boop.
Oh, they're all gone. Oh,
Everybody
there they are.
got boops.
Yes.
Boop.
Boot back.
You got boops
So
back. Thank you.
I think I want to do a reading, but it's not what you'd expect.
Alrighty.
Because
So
I got to
you
be
wanna go
I got to be in
first?
a frame of I got to be in a frame of mind in a certain character to do this monologue.
Can I just say my
Okay.
imaginary My Little Pony name?
Hmm?
Yes.
Hell hath no fury.
Okay.
I heard Michael Scott. No.
Okay. You guys
So-
mute and we'll listen to him tell us the
Mhm.
Oh
story.
no! Like this is going to take like a matter of like seconds. Like you don't even have to mute for this. It's not even a story.
Alrighty.
It's just something I want to do because I'm pumping myself back up for the season. So I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need someone to say the line. What are your qualifications?
Alrighty.
And
What
is
are your qualifications?
Well, attend, Julia. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I traveled quite extensively. I lived in the Black Plague and had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 176 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
Do
Hell
you hear the voices too? Do you?
I love it.
It's better when I'm in the full, the thing. But I just, got to get back in the zone.
Oh, yeah.
Mwah! Loved it.
AutoZone. Yes.
Brava. Brava.
Okay. You know what? Let's get back on the story part. Jodi, you go
Oh,
first.
holy hell. Batman. Okay. So, one of my favorites from Mr. Raz T Slasher is Got You Where I Want You. Weekend nights in downtown Dayton, Ohio are always chaotic. You've got an acting troupe doing Rocky Horror down at the Neon, karaoke at Ned's, live bands at the Night Owl, and an entire street dedicated to college clubs, dive bars, and cafes. It's a microcosm made up of every artistic scene, social hierarchy, and economic status, all in the span of a few blocks. Around here, the gossip is never ending. Everybody knows you, whether you know them or not. It's the kind of place where you can just as easily climb the ranks to local godhood or crumble into oblivion all in the same night. Staying on top isn't easy, but it has its perks. It's easier for the less scrupulous among us, those like me. From sunset to sunrise, this place is ours and everyone knows it. We walk among the sheep and they thank us for it. Just that chance to warm their bleak, miserable lives by the fire of our inevitable glory. They'll never understand why they crave it, but they do. Tonight, my feet travel of their own accord down the side of a brick-lined street. I move without thought, trusting them to know the way. There are nightly rituals that must be attended to, old ghosts that must be remembered and given the proper tribute, palms that need greased, favors that must be granted. Such is the way of the night. My thoughts turn inward, as they so often do when I'm on autopilot. As I pass my favorite old haunt, the building that once contained the Asylum nightclub, the most painful memory fights for the spotlight, the memory of her, the one that got away. I remember so many things about her vividly. I remember her laugh, the smile that made her eyes light up like diamonds, the way her skin felt against mine, and how she tasted. Most importantly, I think about the night we met. Like all the best and worst nights of my life, it all started with a song. I glanced up from my Camel Special Light 100 and saw her standing there. Her image filtered through the haze of smoke all around me, making her seem almost ethereal. The flies were blasting from the speakers in the back of the bar. I remember thinking that their song, Got You Where I Want You, would be our song from now on. Aw, hey. There I was, sitting in a room packed full of people. Most of them I knew, but none of them mattered now. I let my smoke dangle from my bottom lip and stood. I smoothed out my black and green checkered flannel and the Soundgarden tee on display beneath. A quick hand ran through my long, dark hair on the move, a place for everything and everything in its place. Tell me your name. Suddenly I was a shark, swimming my way through the filthy sea of humanity in search of the next big meal that would keep me moving. I glided effortlessly through the throngs of college kids celebrating the end of finals week, for better or for worse. I sailed through the reef of barflies and burnouts vying for my attention and their next fix for whatever addictions plagued them. To them I was a god. To me they were nothing. I grabbed 2 beers from behind the bar and gestured for Nick to put it on my tab in one fluid motion. No words needed to pass between us. It was part of the routine. Finally, I circled her small gathering to get my bearings before going in for the kill. Maybe just a smile. I slid into the recently vacated chair on her left, slipping the beers onto the table in front of us like a magician in reverse. I gave her a wink and a patented grin when she looked over at me, completely in tune with the song that was still chugging along with the rest of the bar. She grinned back and sipped my offering, so trusting. We were comfortable in that initial silence. It was clear by her actions that she believed she was in control, silently sizing me up as the song played on and I played the game. Could we talk for a while? I'm Sam, I offered. I know, was her only response, aside from the grin that hadn't left her face since the moment I sat down. It was the kind of reply that might shake the confidence of a lesser man, a simple move that bespoke the power she believed she held over me. If she knew my name, what else might she know? The game was afoot. Interested in another round, I asked, gingerly tilting my empty towards the bar. That depends, she replied, bright green eyes boring into me like a drill headed for the Earth's core. On, I asked simply. If you can answer 3 questions correctly, I'm all yours. I'll buy the next round and we'll see where the night takes us. Her grin turned mischievous as she laid out the rules of our exchange. I think you're smart. This was a woman that knew exactly what she wanted in a man and wasn't interested in wasting time. Rather than flee and run screaming into the night, I doubled down. Strong spirits were made to be broken. Shoot, I replied, matching the intensity of her gaze. Question 1. The ending of Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Would you have stayed or gotten on the ship? There was no hint of humor in her voice when she spoke. She wasn't asking if I'd seen the movie so much as implying that not having seen it marked me as inadequate in some way. It was a bold move and a quick way to separate the chaff. I didn't hesitate in my response. I'd be on the ship before they finished making the offer. Nearly had it right. Why stick around and go through the normal routine when you could be out there discovering the secrets of the universe and challenging yourself? Complacency is the death of progress. I could tell by the look of surprise on her face that I'd caught her off guard. Whatever she heard about me, it clearly wasn't much or even accurate. She moved on to the next question as quickly as I'd answered the first. You sweet thing. What's the answer to the ultimate question of the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? A smugness radiated from her now at the query, as a smugness that was clearly not deserved. 42. But that's not the complete answer. The complete answer would require a proper question, something like how many roads must a man walk or something equally subversive. I'd had the answer sitting in my back pocket for years. I was a little disappointed by that. No self-respecting connoisseur of popular culture would ever get that wrong. What sort of guys had she dated before that something like this had become necessary? Perhaps I'd made a mistake this evening, rare but not impossible. I was about to say so long and thanks for all the fish when she hit me with the next and final question. Tell me your sign. Favorite class and why? Her eyes narrowed as those words fell from her ruby lips. That was a loaded question. You could almost ascertain someone's entire personality by their Dungeons and Dragons character. If I had said cleric, it meant that I was a caretaker. A rogue meant I was shady, a fighter or barbarian made by me a meathead. A general magic user made me a bookworm. The list goes on and on. This question took even less time for me to answer than the others. There were few things I was as sure about in life as this. Bard. They're the most versatile of all the classes. They can become whatever a party needs in any situation. As jacks of all trades, they dip into every class. They're confident, creative, and excel at overcoming all odds. Whether they're building up their comrades or tearing down the enemy, they do it in style. I said with a calm and collected demeanor, as if I were stating some fact that everyone inherently just knew and agreed with. She took my hand in hers and gripped it tightly, then pulled me in to press her lips roughly against mine. In mid-kiss, she crawled into my lap and wrapped her arms around me. Despite the strong taste of cheap beer and cleverly named cocktails, it was pleasant enough. When we came up for air, she pressed her forehead against mine and whispered gently, "Fuck the drinks. Marry me. I'm dying here." She'd taken me as much by surprise as I had taken her that night. In one instant, we had both become what we thought the other desired most. Two chameleons latching onto one another and going plaid. We ditched all pretenses and made the obligatory sophomoric sojourn to her place. 10 minutes later, I was in Lake Flynn. For days, weeks, and even months, we went on that way. We met at a different club or bar every weekend and fell in love all over again. She was a different woman every time we met, and I became her perfect companion. Each night, she asked me to marry her. We'd rush back to her place and fuck until she passed out from sheer exhaustion. Come morning, I'd be gone, along with her memory of me. It was a dangerous game. I knew that even then. Be it her personality, taste, or very being, I was hooked beyond reason. I'd become little more than the addicts I reviled, desperate for my next fix. I glanced up from my thoughts to the old dusty broken windows. If I could see myself, truly see myself, what would I see now? Would I see what so many others have seen? A demon lurking behind the eyes of a silver-tongued angel? My hands instinctively wrapped the high-collared trench, my proverbial armor, tighter around my body. Whether it was to hide old wounds or cover the place where my heart once beat, it made no difference. I'd lost myself to reverie once again, tuning out the sounds of yuppies and anarchists fighting it out behind the low walls that separated private parking lots from the street. I focused now on happier times. All 1 year, 7 months, 4 days, 9 hours, and 27 seconds worth of them. We were destined to end in tragedy, she and I. A story like ours wasn't meant for happy endings. I fooled myself well enough towards the end, and perhaps she did as well to some degree. Though when the inevitable end finally arrived, she recognized it long before I was willing to. I glanced up from my Camel Special Light 100 and saw her standing there. Her image filtered through the haze of smoke all around me, making her seem almost ethereal. She looked exactly as she had the first night we'd met. The flies were blasting from the speakers in the back of the bar. I'd slipped the DJ a crisp $50 bill when I made my request. Their song, Got You Where I Want You, was still our song after all. Ah, hey, there I was, sitting in a room packed full of people I still cared nothing for. I let my smoke dangle from my bottom lip and stood. I smoothed out my black and green checkered flannel. The Soundgarden tee was on display beneath once again. A quick hand ran through my long, dark hair on the move, a place for everything and everything still in its place. Tell me your name. I plunged back into the filthy sea of humanity, no longer interested in the pomp and pageantry. I glided effortlessly through the throngs of college kids, barflies, and burnouts, affording them not so much as a glance. My time was far too expensive now. I grabbed 2 beers from behind the bar and gestured for Nick to put it on my tab in mutual silence. The routine remained the same. Finally, I circled her small gathering to get my bearings, paying them as little attention as I ever had, less if it were possible. Maybe just a smile. I slid into the recently vacated chair on her left, slipping the beers onto the table in front of us with all the usual aplomb. I watched her stoically at first, feeling something shift between us. When her eyes met mine, it was not accompanied by her usual smile. She left the beer unattended and turned to really look at me. For the first time, I felt almost uncomfortable beneath her gaze. Could we talk for a while? I'm Sam, I offered playfully, my attempt to fan our flickering flame. I know, was her only response, aside from the emotionless void within her dark eyes. Her reply shook my confidence to the core. An alien feeling, I must admit. It was a simple move that bespoke the power she had over me now. She knew my name and so much more. Interested in another round? I asked gingerly, tilting my empty towards the bar. That depends, she replied, dark green eyes boring into me like a drill headed for the Earth's core. On? I asked simply. If you can answer 3 questions correctly, I'm all yours. I'll buy the next round and we'll see where the night takes us. Her tone promised something far worse otherwise as she laid out the rules of our exchange. This was a woman that knew exactly what she wanted in a man and wasn't interested in wasting time. Rather than flee and run screaming into the night like every fiber in my being now demanded, I played the odds. Shoot, I replied, unwisely matching the intensity of her gaze. Question 1. How long have you known? There was no hint of humor in her voice when she spoke. She wasn't asking if I knew her secret so much as implying that not knowing it marked me as inadequate in some way. She held me in high regard, and she was right to do so. I was nothing if not acutely perceptive. I didn't hesitate in my response. From the moment I first laid eyes on you, I'd heard some rumors, but I'd put little stock in them up until then. I just figured I'd stick around, go through the normal routine, and see what shook loose. Perhaps my complacency killed a little more than my progress this time around. I could tell by the brief flash of surprise on her face that I'd caught her off guard once again. Whatever she thought she knew, it clearly wasn't enough. She moved on to the next question as quickly as I'd answered the first. You sweet thing. Why the game? A gnawing fear filled me at the query. I fear that was well deserved, all things considered. It wasn't a game to me, Amina. A curiosity at first, maybe, but never a game. After all this time, you're still not asking the right questions, I revealed reluctantly. I was a little disappointed by that. Did she know me so little after all? The things we shared, the passion. Was it love? I wasn't sure, but she acted as if it meant nothing. Perhaps I'd made a mistake this evening, rare but not impossible. I was about to say my goodbyes and never darken her doorstep again when she hit me with the next and final question. Tell me your name. Are you in love with me? Her eyes narrowed as those words fell from her ruby lips, daring me to answer, daring me to bare my soul, if creatures like me ever had one to begin with. It was a loaded question, in some way or another. All the questions she had asked me tonight had been. If I said no, it marked me as callous. It meant I had been taking advantage of her, and that couldn't be further from the truth. If I said yes, it made me a sucker. A sucker to think someone as magical as her could ever truly love something like me. A sucker to think we could ever ride off into the sunset without the world around us burning to ash. If I said nothing at all, somehow, I knew that would be the worst option of all. 99 times before tonight, I have met and fallen in love with just as many different versions of you. I know you now, better than I will ever know myself. Am I in love with you now? I think it's more than that. It's some unknowable thing that love cannot begin to describe, I explained. This question took even less time for me to answer than the others. There were few things I was as sure about in life or death as this. She took my hand in hers and gripped it tightly, then pulled me in to press her lips roughly against mine. The blood on her lips was still fresh. In mid-kiss, she crawled into my lap and wrapped her arms around me so tightly I couldn't breathe. Despite the strong taste of iron and cloying death, she pulled away as my lips turned blue, pressing her forehead against mine, whispered gently. Marry me, she whispered cruelly. I'm dying here. I nearly died that night. Not easy for someone like me to admit. Just before I passed out from the lack of oxygen, I felt her fangs enter forcefully into the flesh of my throat. I managed to press the button hidden in the sleeve of my flannel. A wooden stake carved from an old white oak exited my sleeve from a heavily modified spring gauntlet with a 50-pound draw weight. It was enough force to drop a grizzly bear. Her fangs tore my throat as she recoiled from the sound. We made a brief eye contact in the split second before her body jerked back from the impact. It split the entire left side of her clavicle into pieces, and an oaken shard forced its way into her heart at an angle. It wasn't a perfect shot, but the damage was done. She screamed loud enough to crack the club's windows and burst through the door before my body hit the ground. I couldn't help but laugh inside as I considered her final words to me, drowning in my own blood and seizing from shock as I lost consciousness. I was just as surprised as the coroner when I unzipped the body bag from the inside hours later and sat up on the table. I knew immediately what she had done, what her plan had been all along. My thoughts were suddenly marred by guilt and the grief of losing her. My own fear of death had robbed me of an eternity with her. Not much has changed for me since then, aside from my appetite. I keep the same hours. I hunt mostly the same prey, and now and then there's one less pickpocket or murderer on the streets. It's not the life I expected, but it's the one I deserved for my betrayal. Every now and then I still hear our song. For a while I ran from it, unable to face an eternity without her. Eventually it became a part of me, a mantra of sorts. I even find myself humming it from time to time while I set about my nightly endeavors. Oh.
Well done. That was amazing.
Thank you.
I love that story.
One of my
Thank you
favorites.
for reading.
Yes. I'm a vampire enthusiast, so when I
that
grow
was
up, I will be a vampire.
that was the second other like horror like love based story that I wrote. The first ever inspired entirely by a song. I did not know that I was writing a vampire story for the longest time. I knew it was going to be horror, but it was meant to be a serial killer, and he was picking her up. And there was this whole bit when she had taken him back to his place that he saw a picture of her sister, which is one of his recent victims. Like this story was almost a very different story. And then Doug glanced at it, made some comments, and then I sat down with Jason, but Matt sat down with me and looked at it, and Matt was like, "Is this a vampire story?" And he starts like pitching me these ideas, and I'm like, "Holy shit, you're right." So, like, a lot of what that story became, I mean, had it not been that late night conversation with Matt, I don't think it would have became that story, and I fucking love it. The other thing it's about, and you guys are about to find out a lot more of this soon, now that Netflix has made a certain announcement. So in the 90s, there was a vampire cult, right, in Springfield and Dayton, and that got confused for a giant group of vampire LARPers that I ran with and gamed with, and they're making well, a guy died, supposedly was murdered and beheaded, body never found, and they've been announcing this week that it's going to be a Netflix documentary about vampires in Dayton.
Ooh.
So I had no idea about any of this when I wrote this story. The Asylum nightclub is where we played. That was one of the places we actually played the game, and that entire area is what you refer to as the Oregon District down here in Dayton, the downtown area. So, like, it's crazy. Crazy to know that's going to be a documentary now.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Raz wanted to read next.
Yes, because phone things. Okay, so I'm going to read you two things. They're both short, but together they will equal a normal read.
Phone thing indeed.
Yeah.
I think we lost the wonderful Raz.
Okay. There
You
he
lost
is.
me? Where did I
You
go?
were frozen.
Oh, am I still frozen?
We can hear you.
Can't hear him now. I think it's when you get blown up.
Yeah. Try like leaving me not blowing up real quick and see if it matters.
Okay.
Did that matter?
We can hear you.
That's in and out.
Yeah.
And not the restaurant.
Yep, that's going to be a problem. The issue is because I've got to go to a different app in order to talk to you, and apparently my phone has decided fuck that. So give me a moment. And we'll travel inside because actually, no, I can't because we have no internet here, so I can't access anything. So I will not be reading those things to you. Instead, I will tell you a story. How about that?
Go ahead and try your story. And just by the way, if it needs to be, you're more than welcome to start doing smoke signals.
No, I'll tell you guys a story. I've got a lot of good stories. What do you guys want to hear a story about? Just give me a topic. You know what? Hold on. I'll ask somebody over here. Hey, Matt. I have to tell a story. What story should I tell? Okay, I'm being asked. So this is not one of my stories, but it is one of my favorites to tell, and I'm kind of known for it around the haunt and other places for telling the story. The original version of this story, no one knows who wrote it. It was never, the original writer never claimed it. It's called The Anti-Goat Man. But I put my own spin on it because, you know, I'm a storyteller and that's what I do. So when I was growing up, you guys know I used to spend a lot of time between the farm and the reservation. Got into a lot of crazy things, parties in cornfields, lots of smoking and hanging out and chilling down by the fire. Well, one such summer, we were at the farm for half of the summer that year. And we get there and my cousin Jeffrey is talking about this local legend called the Goat Man. And I've been going down there for, since birth. I had never heard anything about a goat man or man goat or any such thing at all. But he's insisting that this is true. Like every night he's talking about the goat man. There was a goat man sighting. There was cattle that were found murdered, and they believe it was the goat man. They found the goat hoofs trampled the body. Just a bunch of fucking nonsense. And he was older than me by about 3 or 4 years. So like, there's that vibe that I'm coming from the city in Ohio. Even though I hang out at the farm and the reservation. Like, I just felt like they were hazing me. And I just couldn't get that thought in my head because they haze people. We all haze people. We all told wild stories. I remember the snipe hunts and all the crazy shit we did out in the cornfields and the woods. But he was serious about this to the point where like he didn't even want to walk in the woods at night with us. Like he just wouldn't go out because he was so terrified. And that's when I started taking him a little bit seriously. Well, deep down in the woods, we had this big trailer. It was a sleeping trailer pretty much. It was big enough to have it had a little living room in it, a little kitchen, had a bathroom and but no real bedroom because like the seats would fold out into beds and stuff in the living room / kitchen area or the dining area. So we would just go down there when we were there. We'd party. A lot of the local kids from their farms would come in. Had a diverse group of kind of everybody in the area pretty much. And we just start a huge bonfire. We were so deep in the woods that like there was not even a sheriff's office anywhere near we were in. It was on the farm and no one gave a shit. So, we go out there. There's about, at this point in time, there's 11 of us. And we're having a good time. We're just chilling out by the fire, no big deal. Didn't think anything of it. We did this a lot, actually. All of a sudden, this kid comes out of the woods in a raincoat, like a dirty-ass yellow raincoat, mud all over it everywhere, and just comes by the fire. And we're all asking each other, hey, do you know this kid? Is he from such and such farm? And we couldn't figure out who this kid was. And this kid would not speak and turned his back to us and just stared into the fire and just stood there while we were hanging out and like, smoking and drinking and doing our thing. And we start hearing this crazy fucking loud, shrill sound. Just, it felt like it was right next to me. Like my eardrums are vibrating at this point in time. I'm looking around trying to figure out where it is. Everybody's looking around. And that little kid by the fire turns around and his mouth is wide open and his eyes are all black and he's shrieking this fucking insane sound. So we all kind of grab each other and like shove ourselves into the trailer. And it was not meant to hold 11 people, by the way. It was very uncomfortable. And we're just kind of looking out what we can of the grimy ass windows. And he just stops. He turns around and he runs back into the woods, but at an angle. It's like he couldn't run a straight line. Like, it was a series of slants, the way he was running. It was very strange. So at this point in time, we're all kind of, freaking out. We're calming down the younger ones, which, I was one of the younger ones. I was only 14 at the time. I think little Cam was, he was 12 at the time. He was our youngest and he was freaking out. Some of the girls were freaking out. No one wanted to go back outside. And after being stuck in there with an hour with that amount of sweat and body heat, it smelled pretty fucking disgusting, first of all, but I needed some fresh air. So I was the first one to exit. This kid had been gone for a while, like I said, an hour now. So, I was the first one to go out, looked around, the coast seemed clear. People were kind of nervous, but, we all kind of went back outside, just none of us were sober. So we all just kind of had to start talking about what we thought we saw. And some of us, had the same story. I had the same story as several people there. And some of them were just like wild shit. Like, did you see the fire in its eyes and this and that? So everybody stops panicking finally and chills out. We start enjoying the fire, Jeffrey, my cousin, pulls out a guitar, starts playing it. We all just kind of start jamming and hanging out a little bit more. And as I often do, I was telling random stories about the haunted house that I lived in that we'd only moved out of 2 years prior to this event happening. So the story is refreshed in my mind. Then we hear that sound again. The woods nearby are shaking like several bears are surrounding us, like in different sections, like they're just shaking like violently, like there's just tremors happening like throughout the woods, and we're freaking out. We start to run for the trailer, but that kid in the dirty raincoat comes flying out of the woods again and blocks our entry to the trailer. Like now we can't even get in the trailer. It's walking forward. It's walking right at us. It's going real slow again in that weird zigzag type pattern. And as it gets closer, some of the other ones, some of the other people with us managed to get behind it, get into the trailer and shut the door really quick. So I'm out there. Jeffrey's out there. There's a couple of other of us out there. And that's when Jeffrey remembers that he actually had the shotgun in the trailer. So he hollers out, get the gun, get the gun, get the gun. It's on the counter, get the gun. One of the kids opens the window, tips the barrel out, and takes a shot. Misses by a fucking mile, and that poor kid ended up giving himself a concussion because when it kicked back, he literally like shoved back and slammed his head into a wall. So while that was kind of funny, there was no time for jokes in that moment. We did tease him later. So he shoots, he misses wildly, and the thing just takes off again, shrieking all the way this time, doing its zigzag pattern. The woods are still moving, but as soon as it enters the woods, all the trees stop shaking. So again, we're fuck this shit, we're out. But we're not going to walk home because it's about a 30-minute or so walk through the woods to get to one of our homes, the closest home, which was Jeffrey's house. So, fuck, what are we going to do? We go in, everybody's starving, so, we start cooking. We had enough to feed 12 people. Not a problem. There's only 11 of us, no big fucking deal. So I start, firing up that little shitty propane grill through 12 sausages on it. I'm just fucking cooking away. We're all talking. Everybody's starting to calm down again, like as much as we can because we're on alert. So even the conversations are diminished somehow. Like you can feel that oppressive vibe when you're with a group of people that are all terrified or upset about something. Like people want to talk, to pretend nothing happened, but they're also not sure what to say because they're, still in that state of shock. So through the awkwardness, I start telling jokes. I start telling stories again, making fun of everybody because that's my thing. And, I dish all the sausages out. Everybody's sitting down and Jeffrey comes up to me. He's like, what the fuck, dude? Why do you get to? I'm like, well, first of all, I cooked. Second of all, I didn't. I made 12. Everybody got one. Everybody came up and grabbed one. He said, is that right? And he's pretty close to me now. No one else can hear us in the moment. I'm looking around the room. I'm counting off, including me. Yeah, there's 12 of us. And he says, haven't there only been 11 of us all night? It's like, shit, you're right. So him and I are like trying to nonchalantly figure it out just together, kind of whispering to each other. People are starting to pay attention. We seem a little nervous and they start asking us what's going on. And we're just like, no, nothing. Everything's cool, guys. Let's go back out by the fire for a little while. And everything should be okay. And this time, Jeffrey's going to bring the shotgun out and sit there. So, we're protected in the country. Somebody's got a shotgun. You're good to go. So we all get out there. And most of us have pocket knives that we've got out just in case, like it's going to do anything. And we again start hanging out by the fire. But the whole time, Jeffrey and I are consulting. We're looking at each kid with us and trying to remember, their name, what farm they come from. And one by one, there's only ends up being one person we couldn't place. And then we kind of split up and go to different members of the group, except for that one person. And we started asking, like, hey, who's that? Hey, do you know them? Like, I just can't remember their names. Do you remember? Trying not to lead on about it, but obviously people started picking up on it a little bit. And then we went inside. Till people decided they wanted to leave. It was getting late. I was going to stay the night. We were all planning to stay the night, but people were really freaked out. So Jeffrey says, all right, here's what we'll do. I'm going to take the gun with me because we've got to walk through the woods. I'm going to walk them home. I'll be back in like an hour and a half. If I don't come back, well, I'll see you in the morning. Good luck. I'm like, okay, motherfucker, whatever. He leaves. He takes 4 people with him. So we're down to 8. Not a big deal. It's a smaller group. We haven't seen that thing come back in hours at this point in time. So we're, hanging out by the fire, chilling out some more. Time goes by. We haven't seen or heard a damn thing. And it's closer to the 2-hour mark, but Jeffrey isn't just walking back. He's running back, screaming, go, 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 get in the trailer, get in the trailer. So we're all like getting in the trailer ahead of him. He gets in and slams the door and locks it. And he said it was out there. It was following us in the woods. He said, on my way back when I was alone, it came out. And it wasn't what we saw earlier. It still wore the raincoat, but it had the head of a goat. It took off its head and it had a goat head. And every time it came at me, it came at an angle. It would just come at a weird angle, which made it hard to outrun because anytime he would go one way or another, it would just angle and cut off his path. He said he managed to slip by it just barely and almost slipped on a crabapple, managed to right himself. And as he was running out of the woods, of course, we all went inside. And again, now there's 8 of us, which is weird because there were just 8 of us a second ago. And he just came back, which should be 9, but there's only 8 of us. I pointed this out to him. He knew that he left. When he left, there was 8 people. And he said, did you see anyone sneak off? And I said, no, I didn't see anybody go anywhere. I'm looking around and I can't even account for who's missing at this point in time. It's getting a little confusing. Again, we start to wind down a little bit more after that. This time we're not even going to leave the trailer because fuck that. We decide, just to kind of take it easy for the rest of the night. There's only 8 of us. It's still not super comfortable, but it's a little more comfortable. We were all kind of staking out places that we could sleep. And as we were going to bed, everybody was, just, again, getting comfortable. And I noticed there's 9 of us again. And I pointed out to Jeffrey, I said, there are 9 of us. Who in here doesn't belong? And we went through our whole thing, sitting right next to each other. Just, this person is, that's Jen from the Miller farm. That's Travis from June's farm. We're going through the names and the farms. And again, there was one kid that was unaccounted for, but it wasn't the same kid that was unaccounted for earlier. This was a completely different kid, but he seemed to know the 2 girls he was sitting with because they were talking his head off and he was talking, and they were laughing and smiling. We were just confused. Again, we weren't sober. Maybe our counts have been off all night. I mean, who knows? That can happen, right? We all go to sleep, and I'm sleeping close to the front door on the ground. That's kind of where I'm hanging out, right there on the ground, and everybody else scattered down. They converted all the chairs to the beds and the dining table. They pulled that out and slept on the floor. So we're all just kind of crammed in there. No one wanted to sleep in the bathroom. It's a very old bathroom. It does not smell fantastic. So no one slept in there. Well, Jeffrey's like, I'm going to stay up all night with you. We're going to keep an eye on things. Sweet. Great. You got the gun. I've never shot a shotgun. I'll probably kill myself with it. So that's a good thing you're awake. And we lay there. As we lay there, everybody seems, passes out one by one. And next thing I look over, fucking Jeffrey's asleep. He is fucking snoring. And I don't know how to use the shotgun. So I'm literally laying there all night, laying down in a way that I look like I'm asleep, but I can see everyone because of where I'm laying. And I'm fucking terrified. I'm just shaking and I'm trying not to appear that I'm shaking because I'm pretending to be asleep just in case, because I'm still paranoid that there's one extra person that I don't know. Morning comes. Still, I'm the only one awake. It's about probably 6 in the morning. And the kid that I didn't know, he gets up. He just stands straight up, like from a dead still snoring. His eyes just open and he doesn't sit up. He just stands straight up from the floor. And he starts. Ooh, am I still there? Okay. And he starts leaning over different people and smelling them. Like, I actually going, like, taking the time to smell them one by one. And he gets near me and I hear it because he's got his nose like pressed almost in the back of my skull, just smelling me. And I watch him open the bathroom door. What do you?
I never knew that Raz's face could turn into a loading.
Yeah, apparently.
I think he almost made it through.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, we picked the worst night to have Raztopia night. But it's my Wednesday.
He sees and hears us.
We don't. You.
He's got the spinning wheel of death.
Oh, man. Is it like a Xbox having the ring red and ring, red ring of death?
Right. Well, I think too, like, I watched him move his body, and wherever he went physically, that's when he just turned into the wheel. Come back. We need you.
You need to tell
Sorry,
me how
I
much
got
we love
cold.
you. Like, that's the problem.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, you were at the part
can-
where he went into the bathroom.
Oh, okay. God. Okay. Yeah, I talked way past that. I was almost done. So, he sniffs my hair, he gets up and he goes to the bathroom. When he opens the bathroom, I realized, the bathroom window has been open all night, and I watch him crawl out the window, and I lay there for a couple hours just astonished and realizing that, That's why there was an extra person random times, but I still didn't know enough about Goat Man to understand why the people look different each time. I wait, a couple hours later, everybody gets up. I kick Jeffrey in his fucking stomach because he had the gun and fell fucking asleep, and this would have been solved. Realize it's time for us to go home. And there is only 8 of us, like there should be, as far as we know. And we're all going to go together. One of us has the gun. He's going to lead the way, and the rest of us are going to follow. We get not more than 5 minutes into those damn woods. And here's this thing comes by the light of day. You can see the hood is down. It has the head of a goat. It's got the dirty raincoat. At this point in time, it's not even yellow anymore. It's just mud and brown and blood and, I don't know, shit maybe. It didn't smell that good to begin with. And it comes out of the woods at an angle. Right at an angle. And just like Jeffrey talked about before, every time we took some steps forward, it cut it at an angle. We took steps back, it came at an angle. We were trying to lure it to go forward or backward in a straight line. It would not. And I'm guessing, and this is when I looked down and realized that it's not wearing shoes. Those are indeed hoofs. We don't know what to do. So he fires a shot. It clips it in the shoulder, and it screams. Not like the weird shrieking sound. I'm talking it screamed and bellowed so hard the ground beneath our feet shook. The trees shook so hard that a giant limb from an oak cracked and fell right the fuck down where it had been standing a moment before. And it darts off in the woods. Now we're running, because fuck this. We're jogging. You can't really run in deep woods like that unless you want to die. So we're jogging, we're trying to we're going off path to get, a more direct route. And about halfway through, we see it come out of the woods again. Again, it cuts Jeffrey right the fuck off. Goes at an angle so close to him, it slices him with the torn right across his cheek. So he lifts up, the barrels again, and he shoots, but he misses this time. And this is an old school double barrel, dude. Like, he's got shells in his pocket. He's got to reload at this point in time. So we're trying to run sideways, forward, every which direction we can to keep it from cutting us off at that angle over and over and over again. Split right through the middle of our group and us dancing just out of the way enough in time to not get hurt. Our friend Amy almost breaks her ankle because she rolls her foot over a log. So me and Jeffrey had to grab her while Jeffrey's using one arm and one hand to try and load a gun. He's got her, and we got her in the middle of us. So I finally take her off of him and to help her. And I just pretty much lifted her up and tossed her over my shoulder and started booking it with everybody else. He gets the gun loaded, and we look around, and it's gone. It's gone. So this time, we walk. Because at this point in time, obviously, running didn't matter at all. This thing's going to catch us whether we're running or walking or fucking flying or swimming at this point in time. So we're just walking. I just carried Amy. It was easier that way. Her ankle was already starting to swell. It was not looking good. Probably a sprain. It ended up being a sprain later. So we get to the point where we can see Jeffrey's house. We can see the back of his barn, which is like right at the edge of the woods. Right as we're about to hit that clearing, it comes out again. It comes out, it darts, it hits me in the back of the leg. I drop down to one knee. I drop Amy. It darts away. He's got the gun loaded. He takes 2 shots. One clips it not too far away from where it clipped in that same shoulder, just blow it again. It shrieks. This time it does not run away. It charges again. This is just a straight zigzagging at this point in time, right, Jeffrey. He hits Jeffrey so hard, literally it threw Jeffrey into the barn, and he cracked part of the back wall of the barn. We're trying to get him out of this now Jeffrey-shaped indention, trying to get around the edge of this barn. And this is a huge fucking barn. You ever been on a farm with a huge barn? It takes a while to get around it. So we're now out of the woods, going around the barn. It's darting in and out of the woods like some kind of fucked up pinball machine. Finally, we get around this side of the barn. It's darting in. At this point in time, I've got this huge gash in the back of my leg. I'm almost dragging my leg while trying to carry Amy. And finally, I had to put her down completely. And I just kind of put my arm around her and helped her walk. Maybe together we were both one normal, uninjured person. We get out to the clearing. We can now see the back door. Or between the barn and the back door. And it's back in the woods. And just as we're getting up towards the porch, Jeffrey's dad comes out with a shotgun. His buddy, they're obviously drunk already in the morning, comes out. They stagger out past us, and they just start shooting into the fucking woods. It's like the fucking 4th of July with shotguns, man. You ever played that game, Firework or Shotgun? It was a shotgun. And they just drive it off. And his dad, Rick, looks at me and he says, "So you guys finally saw it? It just started coming around about a couple weeks before you got here." And sure enough, he sits us down, explains that it's some old native lore. Apparently, it's some kind of shapeshifter, and it can take the disguise and look like anyone. We told him about the window and the trailer. We told him about everything. And I went to the reservation about a week after that. It was actually 2 years until I got back to the farm, and by then, most of the people there, moved on, moved away. So it's a really small town in the middle of Tennessee. It's called Crossville. And every now and then we talk about it, like, hey, you remember that time that goat guy came out? Now it's a joke, haha, the goat man, because we weren't sober, but yet when you tell the story, when like I'm telling you now, you get that shiver that starts like right behind your neck, and you feel this pressure, and this cold draft just goes down your spine. It's not the typical I got chills. It's a cold throb that follows your spine because just the memory of when you encounter something like that scars you spiritually and mentally so hard that it's almost like you're feeling how you felt when you first experienced it all over again. And you can see the look on someone's face because they get far away, they get a little quieter when they talk, and they get louder, then they get quieter again. I don't think we've actually talked about it now in 5 years because Jeffrey finally said he couldn't handle it anymore. He still lives there. People still see the goat man. Like to this day, they still see the goat man. There's still experiences. There's still missing cattle. There's all these insane things. And I've not seen it since that night, but every now and then, man, I'll just sit outside and I'll listen to the woods. And every time I see a tree shake, I swear I can hear that screech. It's fucking crazy, man.
That is why we don't play in the woods in Tennessee.
But again, that's me being storyteller guy because I did not write that story, and that's my version of it. Because when you're a storyteller, you take a great story, you put your own personal life into it, and you spin it around. But it's I tell it a little bit different every time I tell it, and that's probably why people like listening to it so much.
Oh, it's fun. But then again, you do that with all your stories.
I try to. I try to.
The version that I have on your journal document is not the same version that the one channel on YouTube read. And the version that he read is not the same version that's in this book.
I'm wonky like that, man. I did some edits for that book. I added a couple things into some of the stories and changed some things up with that. Some things that always were meant to be in the stories, and somewhere along the way, someone or another talked me out of adding something or keeping it. So, Hey, Mike, good to see you, man.
Hi. Well, yeah, of course she fades. I don't know why, but she keeps fading.
Jodi was a ghost all along.
Shh. Telling my secret. I'm a brick in the wall. I just don't want to be.
I am the wall.
Oh, there's all types of fun things in the woods of Tennessee, on the railroad tracks
There
of
legit is.
Tennessee.
There legit is, man. Crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And on the mountain in Tennessee, well, mountains.
Yep, mountains.
Mountains.
Especially anywhere near the fucking Smokies, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere near the Smokies is fucked.
Yeah.
Mullen, don't get close to the stills.
That's a whole other issue right there.
Shit occurs.
It's the stills and the pot farms. That's almost scarier than the actual shit in the woods themselves.
Yep.
And then other times you get stuff like this from Tennessee, and then you wonder why.
Why, Tennessee? Why?
It did me so dirty.
Wow. Tennessee did you dirty by giving you me? Wow.
No.
The room, Jodi.
Wow.
That's another story for another time why it did me dirty. This is not the place.
Well, guys, I'm actually at the point where I need to get off and go to bed. Sorry for cutting everybody short on that.
Way to
fine.
cut it, man.
I
You
know,
told
right?
your story first.
Yeah.
I
So we're all
know, but still, as I know we want to keep on having fun, but I have a little girl that's just starting back in school, and she doesn't have the concept of daddy needs 5 more minutes.
Number 2.
Well, that's
So I'm going to take off, guys. Thank you very much for having me on tonight. Jodi, it's wonderful seeing you. Friday, it's always wonderful seeing you. And Raz,
hi everybody.
I hope you enjoyed that pizza.
Oh, that Little Caesars pizza was heaven, man. And so was the Crazy Bed. The Crazy Bed was also awesome.
Also, I'm gonna have to go. I have actually landed a little job I'm gonna do tomorrow for a few hours.
Nice.
It's getting a little late, and morning will come quick. So, pal, great sharing the stage with you tonight. My sister, you know I love you, and my brother, I love you, and it was great to get to be on here with you again. I've missed that. So
I love you guys tons, man. I definitely miss you guys.
So sweet dreams and God bless.
Bye, guys.
Yep, same with me.
Bye.
I know your battery's getting low, but tell us a little bit about the story I told you I was going to read in case your phone drops out before I get done.
Oh. You got to remind me of the name of it because I know the story, but like my own brain battery is dying too.
The Owlite Circus Part 1. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, so fun fact, I both wrote and didn't write that. I developed a character named JB Rotten for the Owlite Freak Show here at the Haunt. That's where I am right now at Hell's Dungeon. And I just wanted to know more about him, and I asked him to write some journals. And I started writing a lot as him, and then I decided to turn some of what he was writing down into a story. And this was right as he was taking over as the leader of the freak show for their circus from his father, because it was a position passed down through generations in his family. And he was recounting Halloween night, during Halloween night is when you put on a private performance for the dead. You don't open to the public. You perform for the spirits of the lost and those passed from the circus. And that was kind of the whole concept. It was a lot about his childhood and a lot about growing up and a lot about that pivotal day where he took over, with a lot of allusions to other things happening in the future should I ever pick those things back up and write more about him, which I definitely will. He's a very strong character. He's still a huge part of me. I don't play the character of the Haunt anymore, but he's definitely in my brain.
Okay, I hope you do more, because I only have parts in this. Well, from your journal on, actually what I want is just take the document as it is and print it the way it is, as Raz's journals from his webpage or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
That would be okay. That, I think I can talk. I know somebody who I can talk to get that done.
I know a guy.
I know a woman.
I know a woman.
We know the woman together. Oh,
awesome.
By the way, we do know the woman, and she has a new anthology out with us,
dun, dun,
our
dun.
friends, and my
I was
kid.
hoping you'd do that. I cannot wait,
yeah.
dude. Like, I deep dove Mr. Jones to the most insane level that I've ever deep dove any character I've ever written, and that story, I'm not gonna lie, it fucked me up. If you when you read it, make sure you're physically reading it, like that you're looking at the book, you're paying attention, or you read a digital copy, whatever. Just pay attention. Don't look away from the screen for any reason while you're reading. It'll fuck with you a lot more. There's a whole lot of fuckery in that story.
I loved every single second of it. I am trying to figure out how to make the teaser trailer for it.
Oh, shit.
I do have a teaser from the story for it video already made, because she said I can start posting those. So, yeah.
Nice.
I have that ready, because she made it, I made the videos, and then I get to do those other videos. So, yeah.
You could go with a kid's recording because of Greasy, Grimy Gopher Guts. I know there's audio out there of kids singing it.
Greasy
Because believe it or not,
ground.
that's a super fucking famous song. There's like 10 or 11 different versions that people know of it.
Yeah, Martha was like, dude, that's not. I know that song, but that's not the version I sang as a kid. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, apparently,
So-
Mr. Jones invented the song, and that's the real version, according to him. So I don't know. He lies.
Yeah. I don't know what he is other than frog-like with pointy teeth. But
And long, spindly fingers.
yeah,
There's actually a painting of him in the Campfire Tales book, because every story had its own art from a local artist. So when you see that, you'll understand.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because we can always get that put with the story.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Okay. Yes. That. Dude, I love diving into your brain. That's why this is going with me. Because I'll have time without Josh. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to dive into Raz's head because I can.
It's a scary place.
Well, luckily, I'm just grateful I get to know Raz. We all are. My husband, my friends.
And I love
all
you
of us.
guys. Like, for real, man. You guys are fucking all awesome.
That's the whole point of tonight, to make sure you know we love you.
I do feel loved. I appreciate you. I do. It's coming at a good time.
Yeah, it seemed like a good time to give you a big hug, even a big hug from Dante's Cthulhu.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he
Reminds
came in
me of
while
that,
Jodi was reading.
Oh. It reminds me of this story that James wrote for my birthday last year, The Cthulhu and Little Raz. I love that. I still want him to actually fucking like do that as a kid's book and put it out. I would love that. He needs to. It's a good story.
Oh yeah, we'd have to figure out who could illustrate it.
That should be too hard.
Yeah.
I know more people now.
Okay.
Art people.
So need to get with the art people and the James. Ooh, the James is even giving poetry for the honesty in verse.
I'm excited.
I'm so
I'm
happy.
very excited.
That one's going to have me and Patty and James and Cassandra, the one we had on here earlier, guys. Her art is going to be in there. She's the first one accepted.
And didn't Mariah just get in on this anthology at the last second?
I don't know. I'm going to find out. I was going to ask more questions. If so, yes.
I was confused because
I don't know. We're going to have to ask her what she meant by in at the last second. Oh no. He is frozen again.
When my phone's low, I'm finding out only when it's low battery does it freeze when I go to a different app or a page, because I did it a lot last time and it was fine, but I think it's because I'm at 7% probably.
Oh, okay. So you are literally going to die soon, and I'm just like milking all the battery off your phone until you die, until you say, nope, I just have to go.
Yeah.
Because I just miss you. I miss talking with you. You're awesome.
I miss talking to you too, man. I miss everybody. It's been really difficult to do it a lot. So this week it's been nice because I've gotten to do 3 shows this week, and that's the first time I've done that in it's been months. It's been many months since I've been on the network 3 times in a week.
Oh yeah. And I'm like, you know what? We need to do a Raztopia episode. And then you're like, yes. That's why we're doing it now instead of October, because you need the episode now.
It's so weird too, because I just realized that like I'm only 19 days away from my birthday, and I'm like, wow, that's close.
Oh yeah. I still need to figure out what I'm making you for your birthday. Haven't figured that one out yet.
I will be the secret to the life, universe, and everything this year, aka 42.
Yes.
It's wild, man.
I used to just ask people, how's life, the universe, and everything? And very few people got it.
They're dumb. People are dumb.
Yeah. That is why whenever I found out they had that special edition book of the original 5 stories at Barnes & Noble, that has the actual the guide on it. I had to get it.
Yep.
It had to be mine.
You know, there's discrepancies in every single printing of the book, and if you gather everything that's different about it, it almost tells a whole other story, and we won't know more about that until all the printings that were scheduled in the future actually finish coming out.
Okay.
It's pretty neat. There's Reddit groups like dedicated to like finding the discrepancies and trying to put it all together, and it might end up being absolutely nothing at all. No one really knows for sure.
I don't know. I haven't even read my new version because I haven't read it in like 4 years.
Yeah, actually, I just picked it up digitally again not that long ago. Because I finished Harry Potter, then I got to finish James Potter, and then I got to read It because it's my annual reading of It, and then I've got that series to read, which I'm excited about.
It actually surprised me. Josh went through and went from one end to the other of It on his way back and forth to Brenham. Yes, Brenham, where the ice cream shop is, people.
Okay.
He was a CNA. Yeah.
Wait a second.
I know some people are going to notice that part. That's where we are in Texas. Well, we've moved since then. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. I didn't expect him. That book is so big. He actually finished it.
It's huge. It's over 1,000 pages.
Oh yeah.
It's his longest book aside from the unabridged version of The Stand.
And I have,
but in its original format, it was the biggest.
I have the that one version, the hardback version of the whatever edition. Found it at the library and they were selling it, so I yoinked it and brought it home.
That's why I need to get an old library edition, man. The plastic or the shitty plastic over the cover and everything. That's what I need.
Oh yeah. I have a bunch of kids' books of those, of old library edition of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even the ones with the hardback with the printed the pictures on the covers.
Yeah, those are awesome. But I'm now down to 3%, so I should probably go before my phone completely dies. And plus, people can't be quiet over here, so you know how it is.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to read the story, and then I'm going to deuce out, I guess.
All right, love you tons, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Love you. Thanks for talking with me.
Love you tons. Bye.
Yay. Bye. And I guess before I start.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Raztopia Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Raztopia, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh. And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Door King Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Raztopia on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
Hello, hello. I guess I'm back from the commercials and I'm the only one left. I'm going to put up my graveyard and then I'm going to read to you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's make sure it's where I want it to be. Okay, I know I'm at the story now. Okay. The Owlite Circus Part 1. Welcome to the show. I suppose I should start from the beginning, since that's how most good stories seem to go. Still, there's some strange urge in my brain that yearns to dump you right in the middle of chaos and stay there for a spell. It's at a time like this that a person gets the sense of who they are or might become. It always comes back to the initial decision that every person must face at some point in their life, the age-old debate of good versus evil, right or wrong, or which of those tight ropes you decide to walk upon. You can jump back and forth for a time, but sooner or later, those ropes get tighter and thinner. I didn't make my choice so much as I was born into it. You see, my daddy was a carnival barker and mama was a magician. He was the greatest bullshit artist you might ever meet. She was magnificent at making people and things disappear. Not a couple ever existed that was complementary to one another in their both personality and skill. The very combination of their DNA ensured that I was destined for greatness. I was born in a small parish in Louisiana. I'd tell you the name, but it wouldn't likely mean much. Some salt mining company dug so fast and deep that a sinkhole it created up and took a whole town with it. If you stand near the spot it used to be, all you see is a hole that keeps getting bigger every year. The philosopher named Frederick Nietzsche, I can't say that, once said that if you gaze long enough into the abyss will gaze back at you. That's truer there than anywhere else I've ever seen, and I've been in some strange places over the years. Sometimes if you stare at that sinkhole late at night, you can still hear the screams of those that didn't make it out in time. Ain't no one heard it that has come back the same. The whole database represents a lot more to me than a town destroyed in the mining accident. It's a tribute to everyone and everything that ever sunk in life by the indecisive compromises and misleading promises made by those who ought to know better. It is a permanent reminder that I have to choose between getting sunk or doing the sinking. I will choose the latter every time, no matter where it takes me. Living on the road with the circus from one town to another taught me more about people and the world around me than any classroom could. By the time I could walk, I was more skilled at sleight of hand and bending people to my will than most folks ever will be. As I grew into my skin, they found there wasn't a job that needed doing that I couldn't do, and a number of jobs that no one else had the taste for. I'm sure you may think you know all about life with the circus. You've had so many movies and shows to watch, and books and podcasts to read and listen to. Let me assure you that you think you know amounts what you think you know amounts to less than shit. It's a dirty business, and you ought to be smarter than the people you're taking for a ride in more ways than one. Moving around so much means the only people you can rely on are the people traveling with you. And even then, sometimes you're better off only trusting yourself. If you've ever been shit on by an elephant and stabbed by a clown in the same evening, you'd probably understand. If you haven't, this may not be the story for you because tradition demands it. My real story begins on a dark and stormy night. Our little show had been in a small town in Ohio that folks referred to as Mad River Township. It was the morning of All Hallows Eve in October 31st back in 1982. There was a little known tradition among carnies and circus folk that prohibits us from performing for the public on All Hallows Eve. This is the day we reserve for private performance to honor those we have loved and lost. The stands and booths may appear empty to the casual observer, but that could not be farther from the truth. I had just become a young man of 16, a little more than a month and a half before, and that night was my first performance for the dead. It was something of a rite of passage in our little family, a way to honor the tradition from one generation to the next. Now the knowledge of what could be expected from such a thing was kept secret from me beforehand. For all I knew, there would be ghosts of performers pass and the cannibal clown zombies running to and fro around the promenade. There was a level of healthy fear and excitement coursing through my veins that I had never known as we readied ourselves for the show. Unlike most performances, the weather that night did not put an end to this tradition. The show must go on, as they say. I clearly remember watching the lightning dash across the sky and the thunder shaking my trailer as my fingers nimbly molded the white grease paint to my skin. It was my job that night to take over for my father as the show barker to invite those from the other side to come see the show. The rain had slowed by the time I took my place on the small wooden stage in front at our front gates just after midnight. The sides of the stage were packed by everyone from the show to leave room at the front for our guests. Each of those present held a fat black candle in their hands, and when they lit them, that was my cue to begin. As the flame danced and the sky lit up once more with all the fury of Mother Nature could muster, I tapped that old wooden cane on the stage 3 times as I had been instructed. The speech I gave that night was not something the public would ever hear. It too was part of our beloved tradition. At a time when the veil between our worlds is at its thinnest, I bark to thee as the Ferris wheel spins. So does the cycle of life and death and all things in between. I pray you hear the sounds of the Wurlitzer as it beckons with the promise of a new show for all of us. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, ghosts and ghouls and spirits of all ages, I proudly present to you the most important performance you'll ever see, the very fruits of our existence. As the world faded from my white grease covered, as the words faded from my white grease covered lips, I began to see the first of our visitors arrive. One moment there was nothing, and next there they stood. Each one of them was as unique as snowflakes of the winter. Some chose to pair as they did in life, dressed in their Sunday finest. Others came to us as they looked at the moments of their deaths with slit throats and pale, bloated bellies. I did my best to ease my nerves and worried that they would sense some weakness in me and devour my soul. There was an unsettling silence as I felt their eyes staring at me, waiting for the final invitation to enter our gates. I took a deep breath and carried on, not daring to disappoint them or dishonor my family. Welcome to the Elliott Circus. At that, my father opened the gates wide, and together the living and the dead marched as one to the big top at the center grounds. A young woman, likely not much older than I am at the time of her death, wrapped her arms around mine. Despite her otherworldly condition, I was taken aback by her immediately. She possessed some indefinable quality that drew me to her like a moth to a flame. I did not flinch at the coldness of her flesh, allowing her to leech all my warmth from that she required. At the moment, I might well have given her anything she desired. I escorted her to a seat personally, receiving a sweet smile in exchange for my kindness. It was a smile that would haunt my dreams the most pleasant way for the rest of my life. It was the best show I'd ever been a part of. We pulled out every act there was, including some I'd never seen before. Men shot themselves out of cannons. Women walked the tightropes without safety nets, and animals performed with a profound sense of honor and duty. It was truly a sight to behold. The dead cheered us on and begged for one encore after another. We obliged every request, right up until the gloam before sunrise. When the show ended, the living gathered together in the middle of the big top to say our goodbyes. I was suddenly sad to see them go and vowed to show them something new when next we met. As the dead filed out, I was once again approached by the young woman I had yet to stop thinking about. She took my hand in hers and looked at me expectantly. With tears in their eyes, my parents approached from their side, hands solemnly on each of my shoulders. There was an older tradition than the one we had partaken in that night, a tradition that kept the magic in our circus alive throughout the ages, a tradition that I learned about right then and there. You see, now and again, the dead take a particular interest in the living. Should the two from either side of the grave join together as one, something frighteningly magical occurs. As it was told to me in the moment, it meant that our little show would last for all eternity. We would be blessed by death herself. It was not an honor I was given the option of turning down, but that's the story for another time. There's another part of, to quote, I mentioned earlier, Mr. Friedrich Nietzsche, where he says, whoever fights a monster should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. I left that part out until now to make a point. When you're in the circus, you get to see the darkest parts of humanity. It's not just the drugs and the liquor or those people who can never be satisfied. No, there's a whole other world beneath which folks just ain't privy to. Sooner or later, it becomes a part of you. Once it dies, it never finds its way back out. Much like my hometown, it will expand and swallow you up if you let it. The next time the sky grows dark and the Mother Nature threatens to tear it in two, you just might hear the old Wurlitzer strike up a tune. No matter who you are or where you're from, there's always a spot for you. Nowhere between life and death here at the Elliott Circus. I have originally that story was up on his website, and recently over the last year he had decided to take down the journal part of the website, but he just agreed to letting us get it printed. But as the PA, I had copied down each of the journal entries on a document so I could send it to him. But being as I copied it down, I get to keep it as a copy. And I am definitely, until I die, a big fan of Raz T Slasher, It Sees You stories. And I had not known that it was partially JB. And JB Rotten is one heck of a character. And not a character you want to make mad. But he is entertaining, foul-mouthed, and actually, when you're not on the end of what he has to say, sometimes very entertaining. And sometimes when you're on the end of what he has to say, that's entertaining too, or you've just totally messed up. But either way, I would like to thank all of you coming to the Raztopia special. It did not turn out as I'd hoped because his internet had been down, but we did get to have Raz time. We got to have story time. We got to have stories from our wonderful new friend, Kyle. Well, he's not exactly new, but he's a newer friend. And thank you all for being a part of this. And I hope you guys can see why we all love It Sees You, Raz T Slasher, whichever name you know him from Reddit or from my side. I hope you guys all have a lovely night. I have enjoyed it. Bye.